And Bill Mack here with the Middleman, where I try to give you my opinions, my thoughts, news that is not biased. I'm not for one side or the other side. I just try to report news as it is, things that happen in the news, in the political world today. We have bringing you today's story. This was executive orders that was signed today by Donald J. Trump into effect, executive orders that would basically start construction on both the Dakota Access Pipeline and the Keystone Access Pipeline. And there's so much going on with the controversy of the Dakota Pipeline, as we have seen so much going on with them as it is deals with the Native Americans. And basically, it's a sad situation to see so much of these things going on, and knowing with the Dakota Pipeline. And the Dakota Pipeline would carry, they say, with approximately 470,000 barrels over about 1,100 mile trek from the wells in North Dakota. They would go through South Dakota and Iowa, and basically end up at a shipping port in Illinois. And it basically would run, the controversy for it starts at Lake Oha on the Standing Rock Sioux Indian Reservation. And there are basically so far 8 pipelines that are there already. But the main concern with this pipeline, like a lot of them, where it's running under the water, the ocean, and the water at that particular place at lake, is that there is dangers of oil spills. They're very worried because this will be the largest pipeline that runs underneath it. And this is their only supply of drinking water that they do have. And if this happens, folks, is a lot of times when it comes to oil, there is no guarantees. Now, President Trump did say there are thousands of jobs that will be available for it, and I understand he's about jobs, but sometimes people's way of life is more important than jobs would be, because as you've seen through this situation, as it involves the Sioux or Native Americans, the Sioux Reservation, and causing a disruption with them, as we have seen earlier and throughout the news, Bernie Sanders standing in protest that these things shouldn't happen because it will affect them. Have a oil spill happen while this is going on, it will indeed affect their drinking water, the only drinking water. So then how are we to help them then when we have done something that is caused by this? Now, may I mind you, folks, that these access pipelines are the companies that are involved and in charge of the construction of them happened to be owned. They used to be owned up until the first part of this of 2016 by none other than who? President Trump, as well as the Secretary of Energy nominee, Rick Perry. Both gentlemen had stocks and stakes within this company, and now they're in charge of this pipeline. Now they're able to have this. So we just see what's going on with these pipelines. We see that he is affecting the way. But the Dakota pipeline is only one. There's also the Keystone pipeline. And what that does is it's going to start in Alberta, Canada, and it's going to run into the U.S., into Montana. It basically is going to hook up in Montana, and it's going to run through South Dakota. It's going to run through Nebraska over the sandhills, where lies the protest for the Keystone, is running through those sandhills of Nebraska. And what's going to happen is whenever it runs into the U.S., it runs into Montana. There, American oil is going to be added to that pipeline. It's going to run through South Dakota, run into Steel City, Nebraska, where the rest of the Keystone pipelines are. So we see a lot of protesters, and we saw in the news for both of these pipelines of being created. They were rejected by the previous Obama administration for the particular reasons, and the Canadians, have also rejected theirs. But now we see that due to the connecting part to the U.S., Donald Trump has signed an executive order that both of these pipelines are in effect. So a very sad day on the treatment of our Native Americans. We're supposed to be embracing them. However, we see that there's a potential risk that they could possibly lose their drinking water if it has be this, because Donald has mentioned in his campaign everything is American. We're going to keep it American. We're not going to rely on foreign oils and things, but we're always going to have to rely on it. We're the wealthiest nation in the world. We use the most oil than anyone else combined, basically, to run. So having these pipelines is going to be essential for that to happen. But at what cost do you really have? At the cost of our Native Americans losing out. I mean, they've already lost so much over the years, and to see now that one of their reservations and things that could potentially be uprooted because if this drinking water goes, what are they going to do? So very sad day, folks. I'm really sad to see this happen. I'm very sad that Trump has done that, but we're going to look at Donald Trump and see what he basically says in this situation. So let's get right into it.
This is with respect to the construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Dakota Access Pipeline. Again, subject to terms and conditions to be negotiated by us.
Subject to negotiations being made by us. So he's in charge of that, of course. So why not take what you have as you before you were Donald Trump, the businessman, and having this business now, President Trump, having it continue on. So negotiating, of course. And gee, I wonder who's going to do the negotiating for that. So yes, this is the Dakota Pipeline, and we see the executive order being signed by President Trump.
Okay.
This is the Keystone.
This is construction of pipelines in this country. We are, and I am, very insistent that if we're going to build pipelines in the United States, the pipe should be made in the United States. So unless there's difficulty with that, because companies are going to have to sort of gear up, much pipeline is bought from other countries. From now on, we're going to start making pipeline in the United States. We build it in the United States. We build the pipelines. We want to build the pipe. Going to put a lot of workers, a lot of skilled workers back to work.
This isn't the best of our Americans, but we're affecting Americans. Yes, I can understand keeping jobs and having this oil production and all together, but to have this is a very sad situation, folks, with this situation. I understand America, but sometimes you have to see at the cost and what it's going to do. So good luck to that.
Okay. We will build our own pipeline. We will build our own pipes. That's what it has to do with, like we used to in the old days.
So, folks, thanks and credit ABC for the news spot. It is a very sad situation to know these pipelines are going to go forward. He is saying that creating the pipelines himself, building the U.S., I understand that. But you see the cost in which is going to happen when they build this pipeline itself. And it goes and affects our Americans, our Native Americans. Our lives are basically going to be shaken up by this. You know, it's a very sad situation for this to happen. You know, it really is a sad situation to know that those people may have a chance of losing their water and basically, you know, losing their only line by having these pipelines run through their lake. It's very important for them to have that. But as we see, President Trump is making a point for people to know we're going to keep America, it's going to stay American and all. But really, Mr. Trump, you know you are affecting Americans, and that's a sad situation. So until next time, this is Bill Mack here, the middleman. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Get off this.